What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Monday night or Tuesday morning. Now, Tuesday morningers, congratulations, you made it through Monday, arguably the worst day of the week. Monday nighters, you made it through the Monday as well too, but you're just in bed, and now you get to sleep and watch the Trent Out Loud show before you go to bed. All right, y'all, I have a great show set up for you guys today. We got one breaking story. Beyoncé caught on camera crying over divorce talks with Jay-Z. And we also have two lead stories. A judge who blocked Trump's house mysteriously goes up in flames. And not normally discussed in lead stories, but we are going to talk some sports in lead stories. Is LeBron James going to announce that he is retiring within the next few hours? In quick news, we're going to talk Latto's pregnancy beef, 21 Savage, and her Mount Rushmore. Also in quick news, we're going to talk Porsha, Ice Spice, Cardi B, JT, Bad Bunny, Megan Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson, and the boy, Drizzy Drake. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, and question of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Woo! Let's go. All right, breaking news. Beyoncé hiding her tears after an argument with Jay over their separation. Allegedly. Now, for those of you who watch this show daily, you know that I have told you repeatedly about the rumors that are pretty much been confirmed that Beyoncé and Jay-Z are not in a good place with each other. Their marriage is not on stable grounds. And this has been going on all the way back from November at the Mufasa premiere when Jay-Z was accused of the R word, the Tony Busby case, looped in with Diddy. We're almost at a year now. In September, we're 10 months. This has been the worst 10 months, I think, of Jay-Z's career, and that is spilling over to his marriage, okay? Whether you want to believe me or not, because, of course, Jay-Z and Beyoncé haven't confirmed it, so, of course, there's people who are speculating that this is all rumors, but I'm here to tell you it's not. Here is some evidence that it is not, okay? I'm going to play a video for you. Now, keep in mind, Beyoncé Knowles has been famous since, I don't know, 15 or 16 years old. Now she's a 40-year-old woman. She has exited restaurants, buildings, etc., and she has been around paparazzi for more years of her life than not. You watch Beyoncé coming out of this restaurant or this building, and you look and you tell me if this is somebody who is used to hiding the public eye, or does it look like somebody who is hiding their face because they just came from crying in an argument? All right, look at Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Take a look.
Get out of the way. Hey, Beyoncé.
Now, a couple of things to note. You don't specifically see Beyonce's face super clearly, but you hear a paparazzi say Beyoncé, and Julius is there. Julius is Beyonce's bodyguard, not Jay-Z, okay? So I can confirm with you 100% that that is Beyoncé. A. B, what I have allegedly heard about this video is the fact that this was not planned. It's not like they left their home or they left wherever they were and were like, yo, let's go out and discuss about our separation or discuss about our divorce. It was, hey, honey, let's go out, let's do this or whatever. And during their outing, whether it was a business meeting or was it just one-on-one time, etc., because those details are a little murky. The point is that from what I'm hearing from a very reliable source is that things started to heat up. And this has been the problem over the past 10 months, where Jay-Z is trying his best to keep things status quo, and Beyoncé takes these shots at him. Now, we're not privy to the exact shots that she took or exactly what she said, but it's more along the lines of, well, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, babe, let's not do this here. Okay, well, this is this. And then from what I'm hearing, Jay-Z snapped back at her. Then something ensued. Beyonce started crying, and then they were like, yo, we need to get out of here. And that's why you see them in this kind of rush, and Beyonce is hiding her face. And like I said, you have never seen Beyonce leave a place hiding her face. Why does she have to hide her place? Hide her face. She's a celebrity. She's known. She's used to this. She goes in and out of places all the time without hiding her face. So she's hiding the tears, okay? And what else would she be crying about with Jay-Z? Like I said, we've talked about this a bunch of times, and I'm not hoping that they break up. I'm not hoping that they get a divorce. I'm just here to tell you what I've been hearing. And I know that that's what, some people, I think there's some people on both sides, some that like want them to break up because they're not fans of Beyonce and Jay-Z. They feel like they're part of the system. They feel like they don't do enough. They feel like they're the elitists, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's the other half who love them together, grew up with them together. It's a family unit. You don't want to see them divorced. And then, of course, there's obviously people in the Black community who want to, continue to see an example of Black love and a Black family, right? That's the same kind of, feeling that you get from, the Black community where it comes to Barack and Michelle. It used to be Will Smith and Jada. Remember, even J. Cole said, I want that Will and Jada love. Well, that's gone out the window. So I feel like that's where you have, like, I'm sure it's going to be in the comment section, I don't believe this. No, they're not getting divorced. And people are like, yeah, I want to get a divorce. And that's where you kind of like pull because, they're put up on this kind of like pedestal as an example. And I think also too, that's probably with them internally, while they are also maybe having some issues that they know that unfortunately, they do lead a public life and they are an example of Black love, and not just Black love, but love just in general and family, and an example of that, two celebrities can make it. Most of the time we see celebrity divorces and there's not too many celebrity couples that make it through and don't get divorced, right? I.e. Will and Jada, and Will and Jada have said like, we are never getting a divorce. What was it? We ride together, we unalive together, bad marriage for life. And people drag them for it because sometimes, don't stay together for us. Don't stay together for the kids. Don't stay for whatever. If the marriage is broken and you've tried for a couple of years, then it's maybe better, more beneficial for the kids to leave and not grow up in a broken home. Anyways, that's a whole other discussion with the broken home thing. So, like we've alluded to also to all year, Jay-Z has taken a lot of L's this year. Yes, he quote unquote, I was going to say beat the case. He didn't beat the case. He got the case thrown out. He technically beat Tony Busby, but the case was, thrown out over some sort of paperwork mistakes that Tony Busby made. So there's still a lot of people that are like, hey, if that paperwork didn't happen, what would have came of that? And of course, there's some people that think that it was all a lie because there was a lot of holes in the person's story, the accuser's story or the victim's story. But Jay-Z still took a hit from that. We've talked this past year about Rock Nation with Des Perez, who's the CEO, her daughter accusing her of a lot of things. She had to call the police on her daughter. Her daughter is accusing her of being manipulative and doing a lot of stuff. We've shown you guys video of Des Perez saying that Rock Nation is losing millions of dollars. They need to interject money into the company. They're losing money. We know that Jay-Z and Beyonce remortgaged their house for $50 million. There was reports that Jay-Z is going to release another album. Why would he need to release another album? Because they're short on money, because they're not bringing money in. He's the head of the snake, right? And if the rest of the company's not doing good, who do you go and you put out there to kind of revive Rock Nation? You put Jay-Z out there. Now there's conversations that he's not. So there's been a lot of back and forth with Jay. And I could tell you one thing, and I've been in the music industry a while, and Jay-Z has always been there as a staple in this music industry, especially in the hip hop industry. And over this past year, I have never seen Jay-Z in this kind of position ever. He's always winning, whether it be with the Brooklyn Nets, whether it be with the sports agency, the Fanatics, or whatever. Jay is always winning. Even with Tidal, he found a way out of that and sold it. What's his champagne called again? spades, whatever, just everything you always see that he's working. He's a billionaire, etc. Things are not looking good for him. So I say all of that to say the court case, the lawsuit, the civil suit affected his business. He was able to still work with the NFL. He lost the casino deal, which is something we are not used to seeing. I feel like when you encompass all of that, it's really weighing on their relationship. And from Beyonce's side of things, Beyonce, of course, has to think of the Beyonce brand outside of Jay-Z. And we've talked about that too. And she feels like Jay is damaging to the Beyonce brand. And just think about this for a second. Imagine Beyonce being the poster child for family, this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if it comes out where she ends up getting divorced and she now is the poster child of like the independent single woman and she goes into that new era, that could be a whole, revival for her of leaving somebody who was her partner before and, ended up things not working out. And now she's on her own, independent and stuff. Again, I'm not hoping for that, but these are the conversations. And when you're a billionaire, you have to think of these things. And the stuff that's going on with Jay-Z is 100% damaging Beyonce's brand. So let's just leave it off at that. We'll see what's going on. As I always say, I will keep my ear to the street and let you guys know. But we should be hearing something soon from what I hear, maybe towards the end of the year that they might, separate. It's just what I'm hearing. Again, hopefully they work it out. I'm a family guy. I like love. I like marriage. So hopefully it works out for them. That's my hope. But at the same time, I also know that when things are not good and you've tried to work it out, sometimes it is better to walk away, unfortunately. So let me know what you guys think about all of this and what you guys would like to see. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, our first lead story. Judge who blocked Trump hospitalized after mysterious house fire. All right, let's just go. Maybe I should read to you first. Authorities are investigating a fire that destroyed a beach home in South Carolina of a circuit court judge, Diane Goodstein, a state judge who had reportedly received threats in recent months following a high-profile political case. The fire broke out early Saturday morning, October 4, 2025, and quickly consumed the beachfront property. Judge Goodstein and her husband, Arnold Goodstein, were at the scene. Arnold reportedly escaped through a window and was later hospitalized with injuries. Investigators from South Carolina Law Enforcement Division are leading the probe. While officials haven't confirmed whether the fire was intentional, the timing and background has fueled speculation. Judge Goodstein has recently drawn attention for ruling that didn't align with the Trump administration's agenda, including a decision blocking the release of voter data to federal officials. That ruling led to online criticism and, according to reports, a series of threats directed at her. Local fire officials say it's too early to determine the cause, but they are treating the blaze as suspicious. Okay, I will play the video for you. Nothing too much to the video more than the picture, but just so you can see it, take a look. Well, I'll play it just beside me because there's no sound that you need to hear. Okay, so I'll play it beside me. Now, this has sparked, of course, a lot of conversation. Daniel Goldman said, Trump, Stephen Miller, and MAGA World has been doxing and threatening judges who rule against Trump, including Judge Goodstein. Today, somebody committed this act at someone's house on the judge's home, severely injuring her husband and son. While Trump speaks out against extreme right, will Trump speak out against extreme right? The extreme right that did this. Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Will Trump speak out against the extreme right that did this? Okay. Now, Stephen Miller answered back, and I'm not going to read you his word vomit, but he just alluded to the fact. He said, "You are vile, deeply warped and vile." While the Trump administration has launched its first ever government-wide effort to combat and prosecute legal doxing, and he just went on to talk about doxing and what Trump has done and all of that stuff, which I'm not going to read it to you. Then Daniel Goldman answered and says, yeah, nice word, blah, blah, blah. Now try answering my question. If you are trying to combat political violence, why don't you condemn the political violence against the judge who ruled against you and your administration? It's pretty simple. Do you condemn all political violence or only that against your supporters? And we do know, example, Charlie Kirk, it was before we even knew anything, Trump and a lot of people, I'm not going to say everybody, but in his circle was like, oh, these extremists, political violence, and the left, before anything. He even said it at the memorial, etc. But when something like this happens, nobody says anything. And especially when they're called out, Stephen Miller won't even answer the question. So I just wanted to bring this here to you guys. Of course, it's really stirring up a lot of conversation online. But, whenever I talk about politics, and I try not to talk about politics too much because I know you guys get that everywhere. But, it is part of my show. We do talk politics here. And, you guys, drag me sometimes in the comment section. You call me Trent Two Sides because I never take any one side and I sit in the middle. And when I give Donald Trump credit, I do give him credit. And I just want you guys to make sure that you hear me dragging him today. Now, for example, I gave Donald Trump credit at Charlie Kirk's memorial for being him. Although I thought it was distasteful of him bringing politics to a memorial, I was like, the one thing that's good with Trump? He always shows up and is him. And when you show up and you're always you have to do that at all times. And this is a great example and a great time for Donald Trump to show up and condemn this, no matter if it's coming from his supporters or not. And this is the times where you guys have to really see that I call out everybody at any point in time. So I just really wanted to highlight that here, that I think that is just horrible. Like, Donald Trump and his team should come out as active as they are when anything happens from the extreme left. This is wrong. This is dangerous. And this just adds fuel to the fire. But the asterisk is this also who Donald Trump really is? When I say that he shows up in every room as him, is this actually the real Donald Trump too, where he can't even admit that his own side does anything wrong? And that is the problem. You either keep it real or you don't keep it real. Being biased is a huge issue, especially for the President of the United States of America. I am calling him out. I want my credit in the comment section below. All right, our second lead story. The decision of all decisions, October the 7th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the second decision. Okay, I don't normally talk sports in lead stories, but this is major. Look at this. All right, for those who are not seeing video and listening to it on podcast platforms, this is LeBron James walking in and sitting down for an interview. Now, for those of you who don't remember the first decision, when LeBron, I'm trying to remember the year, whatever, one time when LeBron was a free agent and he was at Cleveland and everybody was speculating if he was going to go to Miami, he had a huge deal, a big press conference, and he sat down and said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. And he got destroyed for that because, he was the Cleveland Cavaliers' son. That's where he was born. He promised them he would bring them a championship, blah, 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 blah. If you are going to leave, why make such a big spectacle of it? And apparently nobody knew he was going to leave, and that's when he made his first decision. Now, people, he got backlash, blah, 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 blah. He made good with them. He ended up going back to Cleveland, brought them a ring. We all know the story. Now, this brings us to today, the second decision. And we talked about this, I think, last week when I told you guys that the Lakers were not optioning his contract, meaning that he had to opt in for his last year, and now he's playing for the first time ever. This will be the end of his contract, and he will be totally a free agent after this year. Okay, he'll have to either renegotiate with the Lakers or go to another team. So everybody was speculating, is Jordan good? Jordan is you could tell where I'm going with this. Is LeBron going to retire? Where is he going to go? So this is what we're going to get answered, depending when you're listening to this, today or tomorrow, noon. Now, before I weigh in on it, and for those of you who watch me daily, you know what my comments are going to be, because I'm not a big LeBron fan. But if the decision the first time met so much backlash, why would you do it again? Just even whatever it is that you're saying, I just wouldn't do the same thing again that didn't work out for you. A. B, or two, there's speculation that he might retire, but there's also speculation that he might be announcing that he's going to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers and retire there, which I think will get him backlash, because going to Cleveland Cavaliers that ended off in the first position or second position, first place or second place. I think they were first place. Now going over to there, it's looking like, not like you're trying to go home to the Cleveland Cavaliers. It looks like you're not going to win with LA, right? That's not going to happen. And especially you're not going to win in the Western Conference Final. So now you're going to move over to the Cavaliers and try to win a ring with them now that they got their franchise running. And then you get a ring, you tie Kobe, and then you leave, because the Eastern Conference Final is easier. Or if not necessarily easier, but easier to at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But with the Lakers, you might not even pass the first round. And if you do, you're going to get knocked out on a second round. So that is what is up for discussion. I have heard, also too, there's also this thing where it's an NBA executive says LeBron James wants a farewell tour like Kobe and doesn't want to go out like Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan, nobody knew at the end of 97, 98. You can watch the documentary on The Last Dance, because there was so much going on with the ownership and Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan. We didn't know that was going to be Jordan's last year. He said, you don't bring Phil back, you don't bring me back. That was the last we heard of Jordan. We don't even count him coming back with the Warriors. So Jordan didn't get a farewell tour, where Kobe got a farewell tour. Every stadium he went into, it was a montage, a thank you for everything, etc., etc. I was lucky to witness Kobe's farewell tour, because Kobe's last All-Star game was in Toronto, and that's when I had the stores, and Adidas got me tickets for the entire weekend. So I was at the rookie and Rising Stars, I was at the slam dunk competition, and obviously at the game itself. So I got to witness everything front row. And then also too, I got to see him the last time he played in Toronto, and they gave him a big farewell tour. I totally understand if that's what LeBron wants. It totally makes sense. So I would prefer him to stay with the Lakers, leave, and just go out as a Laker and be done. I think it would be a little bit, I don't know, just not genuine for him to say, I'm going to go back to Cavaliers and I want a ring. LeBron wants to be the greatest of all times so badly, where you ask Jordan about that stuff and he's like, I don't even want to talk about it. You have never heard Michael Jordan say that he's the GOAT. He always talks about the team. Kobe, same thing. LeBron is the only one that calls himself the king, the chosen one. That's his tattoo on his back. I'm the GOAT. I'm the this. I could play you 12 clips of LeBron saying that. So he has this kind of like insecure complex where I guess maybe he doesn't feel internally like he is the greatest, so that he wants to project it. But you're not going to, he has 4 rings. For him to tie Jordan would be great, but to kind of just end the whole conversation, you would have to get 3 more rings, because you'd have to get 1 over Jordan. Now, there's obviously the Kobe conversation, which some people don't feel like is a conversation, but I do, because for me, Kobe is number 2. But I know he would like to retire at least tied with Kobe because Kobe has 5. Jordan has 6. Kobe has 5. LeBron has 4. So I know he would like to at least tie with Kobe because there's guys like me out there or people like me out there that, okay, maybe, him and Jordan, okay, maybe there's no competition. And some people were like, hey, there's competition between Kobe and LeBron. I don't even think there's competition at all. That's just my opinion. I think Kobe, I wouldn't say far away from LeBron, but, LeBron is maybe my 4th or 5th pick. It's Jordan, Kobe, Steph Curry. There's room for 4, and maybe LeBron could be 5 in top 5. I can actually even put him in my bottom 5, but let's not go there. Anyways, that's my whole pitch on LeBron James. Of course, tomorrow, by the time I'm recording, we will know what he decides. And just before I get off of this, just for people who don't watch daily, I love LeBron James off the court. He's one of my favorite athletes off the court. I love his activism. I love what he does for the Black community. I love what he does for politics. He's not afraid, whereas Jordan was famous for saying Republicans and Democrats buy sneakers. He doesn't want to get into politics. And I'm not faulting Jordan for that. I'm just saying I commend LeBron for, taking these risks with his career and with his brand. So I love that he does that. I love the father that he is. I love the husband that he is. I love LeBron off the court. If I had to choose a friend between Jordan and LeBron, I'd probably choose LeBron. Like, he's such a nice guy. Like, he's just a genuinely good guy. Kobe and Jordan don't really have that kind of reputation of being like the nicest guys in the world. I say all of that to say I love him off the court, but on the court, him not being my favorite is just on the court. His style of play, his personality, and I like a player like a Jordan or a Kobe that has that instinct, like, yo, it's me. I'm gonna take this over. Like, I'm running things. Like, I love that like bravado and that attitude, like on the court. So I was disdain. I don't know if that's the right word, but love everything off the court. Great person, but think of them as like action figures just on the court. Jordan, Kobe, Curry, top 3. All right. Let me know what you think LeBron is going to do tomorrow. Is he going to retire? Is he going to Cleveland? What do you guys think Mr. King James is going to do? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, Miss Latto. All right, we have a lot to cover with Miss Latto. Latto, yesterday, we told you that she is in Japan and she was on stage, and we played you a video where Latto looked like she may be pregnant, okay? So Latto put out this picture today. Then she put out this picture. It was yesterday. And this was the picture yesterday that we got, okay? And she put in the caption, and she put, I ate too much Wagyu and ramen. So she didn't say she wasn't pregnant. She didn't deny. All she said was, yo, I ate too much Wagyu and ramen. Now, for those who watched yesterday, I said Latto has to be very careful because she is with 21 Savage, but they can't announce or talk about their relationship because he is married legally to somebody else so that he could stay in the country. Everybody knows this. I'm not even spilling the beans. It's known, but he cannot say that he has a whole other girlfriend and now a whole other kid, or else, hey, look what Trump's doing. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want to get deported. So I don't know how the intricacies are going to work out, because I don't know if you just have a kid while you're married with somebody, but your technical wife on paper doesn't care, then as long as you can just prove that you guys are still married and still like acting like husband and wife, if you have a kid with somebody, maybe that's okay. I don't know those details. Anybody that's in that world, please comment below and let me know. But I feel like that's why she is now being like, yo, I'm not pregnant. Okay. So that's 1. 2, she addressed beef with Nicki and past beef with Ice Spice on a talk show. Take a listen.
From King of Hot Topics on Twitter. Love seeing you and Ice Spice make peace. How did it happen, and will you be able to work things out with Nicki Minaj too?
Her team reached out to my team, and we was like, we figured it out.
You and Nicki gonna be back with Giselle's friend Nicki.
Yes, we love Nicki. We do.
I did too.
You did? Okay.
Okay.
She also addressed 21 Savage again, as a viewer asked her. And again, doesn't deny, doesn't do anything, just like TMZ video I showed you last week. Kind of beats around the bush. Take a listen.
Since fans think that 21 Savage was referring to you in his new song, If Only, can you confirm or deny if you scored ever?
How you gonna ask me? I don't know.
Can you confirm or deny that the two of you were ever in a relationship?
I like to keep my private life private.
He says he fell in love with the cheetah print, which...
Who hasn't?
I like to keep my private life private. Okay, my man. All right, and then the last thing that has gone viral out of this interview, Latto names herself, Nicki, Cardi B, and Lil' Kim as her Mount Rushmore of female rappers. Now, it kind of took her a little while to get to this. I won't play the whole thing for you, but she ultimately ends up being like, all right, there's me, of course, Nicki, Cardi, and I guess I got to throw in Lil' Kim. I don't want to sound too cliche, but I'm going to throw them in. Here's a clip. Take a look.
I mean, It's like I have to put Kim, but I love a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want it to sound too cliche, but like, if it's me, Kim, Nicki, Cardi.
Now, I love Latto. I told you guys yesterday, I'm very sad that if she is pregnant, I'm sad if she is going to marry 21 eventually, because I love Latto. I got to find me a girl like Latto. Do your research on her. She's amazing. However, Latto, I love you, but unfortunately, right now in your career, you're not on the Mount Rushmore. I'm sorry, but you're just not. I understand that you got to think that you are, but it's way too early in your career. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had a couple of hits. The Mount Rushmore. Now, Nicki, for sure, and I know she's, done a lot of crazy things this past week and stuff with Cardi and all of that stuff. But Nicki is on my top 10 rappers of all time, period. Male or female. So Cardi's got to be up there, okay? Sorry, Nicki. Nicki's got to be up there. She's top 10, male or female, okay? Now, Cardi, just because of what she has done this past 7 years, the run that she has had is really incredible, and you cannot take it away, because I would argue that she might not even deserve a space on the Mount Rushmore, only because Cardi is just on her second album, technically, and she has had a lot of singles over the past 7 years, but we're talking about a body of work to be on the Mount Rushmore, the 4 greatest female rappers of all time. Like, I've said this before, and I love Cardi, but and there's something else in Quick Stories that I'm going to get to that she's doing that I'm not happy with, but Cardi is more of a personality than a rapper. I'm talking about lyrics, delivery, style, album, charts, etc. But there's definitely an argument to be had just from what she's done in the past 7 years. The records that she has broken, what she is able to do for female hip hop. Yes, I'll give you that, but there's an asterisk beside it, and I could fit other people in there. Lil' Kim, that is obvious. The blueprint for the female rap that we see today, of course, the blueprint, but we cannot forget the female hip hop artist before Lil' Kim. And I get that Latto fits into that, that demographic of the Lil' Kim, Nicki, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But there's also Queen Latifah. There's also, I guess, Salt and Peppa, but I know they're a group. There's also MC Lyte. There's also Queen Lauryn Hill. She's a rapper. All right? She's a rapper. Don't get it twisted. Like, I understand she could sing, but she's a rapper. Okay? And that's just to name a few. So even if you want to put Kim there, you want to put Cardi there, you want to put Nicki there, unfortunately, those 4 women that I noticed would have to take the spot over Latto. So y'all weigh in, and if anything, I would actually even take Cardi off, especially naming there, because Lauryn Hill's got to be up there. Queen Latifah's got to be. MC Light has to come on. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that's my Mount Rushmore of female hip hop. Y'all weigh in, sound off below. Who is your Mount Rushmore of female hip hop? All right, our second lead story. Recently separated Porsha says she's back dating, but this time it's men and women. Take a listen to Porsha.
So, the people who I'm talking to now, it's just 2. I've narrowed it down to 2. Okay. And he is nice and she is nice. And what I talked about with my therapist the other day was, I'm having a hard time opening up because they're not narcissists. And guess what narcissists do? They love bomb you. They do everything. They look perfect. They mirror you. And these people are not. They're challenging me. They're asking me questions. They're not letting me walk over them. They aren't just doing whatever they need to do to get into the relationship. And so I'm not feeling safe enough to open up yet. And so what I have to do is realize if you want something different, you have to also be different. I have to soften up a bit. I have to not expect a whole lot.
All right, now y'all know that I'm not a big reality show fan, but I've said to you guys a couple of months ago that I will do my due diligence and keep up with reality stuff because this is a viral and daily show that talks about things that are in the media. But just know that I hate it. So Porsha is recently separated, and she went on to talk and not just say about that she's dating a man and a woman. And of course, that's the headline. It's like, oh my gosh, Porsha left, her husband, or they're getting a divorce, and now she's dating both genders. But she also went on to say more and to say that she is not used to this relationship of not being with a narcissist. And she was saying that narcissists love bomb you. And the 2 people who she's dating right now are challenging her. They are, not just giving her everything that she needs and not pampering her and doing all these things. And she said as a result of that, she is having a hard time opening up because she's not used to not being in that kind of relationship. I thought that was really interesting because I think it's very introspective of her to think, hey, why am I not opening up? And she said she's actually going to therapy. And y'all know I'm a big mental health advocate. So I love the fact that she is with people now who are not necessarily in the spotlight or who are not narcissistic and are not whatever all about them. And she's with people who are like, yo, I like you, but I love you enough to challenge you. What are you doing in life? How are you doing this? And whatever, blah, blah. And you guys know in social discussion or whatever I talk about, like on the membership vlogs, I'm really into those kind of relationships where, once all the fun and blah, blah, blah dating period is over and you start liking somebody, it's like how much can we push each other and pour into each other. So I really like this, although I don't know too much about Porsha. I like the direction that she's going, leaving a relationship, going into something that's different and going to therapy and working her things out. So you might hear this, oh, she's dating a man and a woman, but there's more to this. So I wanted to bring that to you guys. Let me know what you think about Porsha. I think she's at the Real Housewives of Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about Porsha in the comment section below. All right, our third quick story. Oh, Ice Spice. Okay, you ladies, you're going to have to help me with this. Ice Spice fans are concerned over her after this video leaked online. Okay, so there's 2 things here. I'll put up like a picture. Like, you see this kind of like marks on her back. Now, I don't know what this is. Actually, let me play the video and it gives you a little bit more. You'll notice the marks and then also notice where this designer's kind of like hands are being. Take a look. All right, so like I said, here's twofold. One, like, is this maybe it looks kind of like birthmarks to me, or like some people are saying it could be bruising. I don't know. I lean on the ladies to think about, like, to answer this. I don't know. And also too, you see kind of like on her arms that there's some slight bruising. I'm not too sure. Sometimes online kind of like overreacts. Also too, they're kind of questioning, where this designer's kind of like hands are being placed in the video. So, you know me, when things are out of my spectrum, I'm not a woman. I wouldn't, hug or handle a woman like this. Maybe the relationship is closer than we know. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I don't know. So when I don't know about things, I don't talk about it. Ladies, comment below on the potential bruising, or maybe that's how her skin is. I don't know. Help me out with that. And how do you feel about this interaction with this designer? And this is coming out of Paris Fashion Week. All right. So sound off and let me know in the comment section below. Okay, our fourth quick story. This is exactly what I was talking to you guys about with Cardi B. Cardi B trolling JT's 25,000 low streaming numbers by spending 25,000 at Starlets. Okay, so this is continuing from last week, the Nicki and Cardi B. JT jumped in on it. Actually, no, I also forgot that Cardi dissed JT on the album. There's been so much Cardi B beef, I can't keep up with it. Anyways, JT put out a diss track, and it apparently only is at 25,000 streams. And Cardi B went to the club, the dancers club, and spent 25 racks and being like, yo, I could spend what you stream at a night at the club. Now, I'll play a little clip. There's a lot of swearing. Actually, I don't know if I could play it because there's music in the background. Anyways, you can go on our Instagram. I put it up, the Trying Out Loud show. You'll see the whole thing up. It's up there, okay? You could see what she's saying to JT. But this is what I was alluding to a little bit in the first quick story with Cardi B. And I love Cardi B. Big fan of Cardi B. But I've said this in the past couple of times that I've spoken about her. I feel like her album rollout started here. The court case, I was like, brilliant. Look at all these memes. Man, we were posting about her every day. Her personality. Oh my gosh, amazing, amazing, amazing. We love Cardi. Every day, every day, every day. Then she started doing the promo for her album, popping out at bodegas, being in the street with the people. It was about her music, DoorDash, drones, dropping, like with Walmart. It was great. Her album comes out, cool. After that, just my opinion, it's been downhill. Since the first day when it dropped, the JT stuff started. Then this stuff started, blah, blah, blah. And then Nicki. And I just feel like Cardi has gotten away from the album and gotten away from the music and is just going straight to her personality. And there's no money in that. There's no accolades in, yo, you know how many impressions or how many views you got on Instagram? And I am the one always saying from a marketing standpoint that, for example, Young Thug or any artist before their album comes out, Kanye West does this a lot too. You get your name in the algorithm and you get your name trending and it's the number one trending. And then the album drops and then you automatically, the algorithm picks up the album and then you have a great first week sale. But what Cardi is doing, everything prior was great, but what everything's doing now is she's messing up the algorithm because the algorithm isn't Cardi, I am the drama. It's Cardi Nicki, Cardi JT, Cardi this. And now she's big pregnant in the club throwing $25,000. I get that she's a personality and that's what makes Cardi loved, but I don't know for a fact, but I would be willing to bet $10 on it that if you look at her album sales from last week to this week, we're going to see a steep fall. And you normally do see a steep fall, but I bet you this is bigger than normal. And B, it didn't have to be like this if she continued focusing more on the music and less on the beef. And also too, it's just getting a little exhausting. I didn't even want to post this today. I was like, can we just get on with it? I think the Cardi and Nicki kind of just gave me a bad taste in my mouth. Anyways, still love both of them. Love all of it. I get it, but let's get to some music. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right. Our fifth quick story. Okay. I love this. Okay. Everybody was talking about Bad Bunny yesterday because he was on Saturday Night Live. We couldn't play it for you for copyright reasons. Then I think it was yesterday too. We showed you Tommy Lauren, who was like, what did she say? he's not American, or oh no, somebody said he's a great American artist, and she's like, he's not American, and the person was like, yeah, he's Puerto Rican. A lot of people, more from the right side or the MAGA side or Trump side, I can't bring myself to say they don't know, because how could you be American and not know that Puerto Rico is part of America? But it's like, I think they have forgotten. And more importantly, what about the non-Americans that have performed on the Super Bowl stage? I got this online and I wanted to share it with you. Rihanna, not a U.S. citizen, from Barbados. Shakira, not a U.S. citizen, from Colombia. Coldplay, not a U.S. citizen, from the U.K. The Who, not a U.S. citizen, from the UK. The Rolling Stones, not a U.S. citizen, from the UK. Paul McCartney, not a U.S. citizen, from the UK. U2, not a U.S. citizen, from Ireland. Bad Bunny, U.S. citizen, Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory. So Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizen by birthright. MAGA is big mad that Bad Bunny is taking over the Super Bowl stage because he's not American, but he doesn't speak English. Let me say this loud for the folks in the cheap seats. Bad Bunny is a U.S. citizen born in Puerto Rico, period. Puerto Ricans have U.S. citizenship by birth for over a century. This outrage isn't about football or language. It's about who gets to be seen as fully American. This racism dressed up as patriotism. America is multiracial, multi-language, and undeniably Caribbean too. It goes off to make the point, but I think that we have made the point. So just anybody who tells you something about Bad Bunny, here is more evidence that not only is he American, but even if he wasn't, there has been a number of non-Americans that have been performing and have performed at the Super Bowl. So continue to back Bad Bunny. And here is some, help or some data to prove your point. All right. Our sixth quick story. Oh gosh, this is funny to me. All right. Megan Thee Stallion has put out this picture of her and Klay. And I'm not going to, let me see if this has audio. No, I'm not going to play it has audio. I'm going to play a video beside me. Jeez. I have dragged this relationship since the beginning, where I know that this relationship was a PR campaign for Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson, because she had this kind of just this bad kind of, just how do I express it? Like, when you have an artist and you're trying to put music out and you're trying to put stuff in, they just have like, she ratted on Tory. She went out with, what's his name? Something Fontaine. Can't remember his name. P. Fontaine or whatever. But like Megan's always choosing these bad guys or whatever. They're trying to repackage her and put her with Klay. Good dude, basketball player, not a rapper or whatever. And, put her back in a spotlight that is more advantageous to her and get her music popping, because again, she's with Rock Nation. This is a Rock Nation against Tory Lanez. If you don't know, we'll get into it a whole other day, maybe at like a Tory Lanez appeal. But Tory Lanez accuses Megan Thee Stallion and Jay-Z and Rock Nation of fighting against him. So he and his team are trying to kind of discredit her, and this is her answer. Anyways, last week I played for you a video of Klay being asked by reporters saying, hey, Klay, how is your relationship with Megan going to affect your basketball, and how was it over the summer? And he's like, I have no comment. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, is your relationship over? And now today we get this video of her giving him $50,000, cooking breakfast, and now we see all of this love. We haven't seen it in like a month, but all of a sudden when that Klay clip came out and he didn't follow the script, now we're seeing all of this. Give me a break. We know Klay is not her type of guy. Like, I don't believe this relationship at all. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our seventh quick story, another little Bad Bunny thing. Bad Bunny allegedly plans to bring out Drake during his Super Bowl halftime show. Puerto Rican artist Bad Bunny is reportedly planning to bring out Drake on stage during the Super Bowl halftime performance, set to take place February 2026. An insider emphasized Bunny's loyalty and gratitude towards Drake, noting that he wanted to honor their collaboration and friendship. The source told The Sun he doesn't care about the beef and the controversy from last year with Kendrick Lamar. He wants to show support to his brother as Drake helped him out a lot in the first years of his career. The two have teamed up on a few tracks over the years, including MIA and I think it's Gently. The source continued, he knows that Drake would deserve a full halftime show for himself and to be the main artist for this kind of event, but Bad Bunny also wants him on stage for some songs. While guests probably won't be confirmed for sometimes, fans have shared hopes that artists like Jennifer Lopez, Cardi B, J Balvin join Bad Bunny on stage. Whoever comes out the night is sure to be one to remember. And then Insider added, he is a voice for minorities and the Latino community, and he wants to use that platform in its fullest during the halftime show. He won't soften up his social engagement and comments to be a voice for the people just because of the halftime show. It all has the making of a historic night. Okay, I don't know how I feel about this. I literally just saw this. I haven't had enough time to process. I don't think I want to see this. I really don't. Y'all know I've been very critical of Drake since what was the album with him and Party Next Door. I made not really a joke, but I made a sign like I am leaving the Drake fan club, being the president of Drake's fan club. I don't like how Drake has been after this beef. I don't like the music we've gotten. I think some of it is okay. Yes, I like Nokia. What Did I Miss? I heard like What Did I Miss is like the most downloaded stream of whatever. I just would have preferred to see a bigger bounce back from one of the biggest artists ever of all time. You know, I think strategically, I don't like the moves he has made. I still leave it with a little asterisk of, I understand the Universal thing that's going on, the court, all that stuff, Spotify. I've touched on it a little bit, and we shall see. I would love to stand corrected. I would love to, but I just think that we need to see an album from Drake. I think we need to see number ones. I think we need to see him dominant. I don't think that we need to see little Lucy singles on a Party Next Door album. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see Drake back in the dominating position, bouncing back from the Kendrick Lamar thing. And I say all of that to say, for him to be on the Super Bowl halftime show after Kendrick and just as a guest appearance and not like have a nod to Kendrick or do anything, like, I don't think that it's the look. I get why Bad Bunny would want to do it, and I love their songs together, but I particularly don't think it's the move. And if you guys remember, it has come out that Drake has turned down the Super Bowl twice. He turned it down for a reason, and I think that reason is for the same reason why Taylor Swift turned it down, is you don't want to do the Super Bowl this early in your career. For me, you more want to do it when you're like Usher, when you're at the tail end of your career, like that legendary, nostalgic, and you can run through your hits. And Drake is 15 years, but I would say maybe Drake do it in like 4 or 5 years, do a couple more albums, 1, 2 more. And anyways, that's just my point of view. Do you guys want to see Drizzy? Do you want to see just Bad Bunny, like you said, J-Lo, etc., Cardi B? Even like a Cardi B, I would say more to go on, Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, our 8th quick story, something quick to touch on. My bad, I didn't touch on this last week. This all happened with when I was at the Diddy trial. Tyreese turned himself in for animal cruelty charges, is later released after posing a $20,000 bond. Earlier this week, it was revealed that authorities issued a warrant for Tyreese Gibson after his dog was accused of attacking and unaliving another dog in the neighborhood. According to 11 Alive, Tyreese turned himself into a Fulton County jail on Friday at 6 a.m. He was officially charged with cruelty to animals and was later released after posting a $20,000 bond. As previously reported, before turning himself in, Tyreese issued a statement in response to the news of the warrant. At the time, he said, to the family who lost their beloved pet, please know that I am praying for you, grieving for you, and will continue to face this tragedy with honesty, responsibility, and compassion. So I made a call to somebody in Atlanta, got some more information for you. Earlier in September, before this happened, allegedly, and this is pretty much true, the police raided Tyrese's house, detained his grandmother, who was like 70 years old, didn't arrest her, but detained her, put her in handcuffs, put her in the car. And normally when you go and you search a home, you detain somebody so that you could search the home without people like being all up in your face. But apparently his grandmother was sick, suffering from pneumonia, and is not well. Why would you detain her and put her in the cop car for a dog case? And I'm not saying that this is nothing, and I understand a dog was unalived and it's sad and it's dangerous. I'm a dog lover, but what? This is craziness. There was another Pomeranian dog that they took into custody, and the dog is now in custody. Apparently, they kicked the door down. They kicked the bedroom door down in the master bedroom, and possibly Tyreese is thinking of filing legal action against the police. From what I've heard, he's going to just let them, do whatever they need to do, and then either drop the case, charge him, or whatever. But then after that's said and done, Tyreese is going to, I guess, countersue the Fulton Police Department. And I would totally agree with him. Like, what are you doing? For a dog? It's crazy work. Anyways, sorry that it took me so long to update you guys on this, but I want to bring you up to date. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, y'all. This brings us to my favorite segment, comments and social discussion of the day. All right, before we get to that, I have a very important question for y'all. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trend-out-loud to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. Listen to this. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. Now, a lot of people think the data brokers are the bad guys. They're not. They illegally obtain your information that's sold in the back end, and then they sell it to bad actors. The thing with Aura is that they stop your information from even getting to the data brokers. That's what's amazing about Aura, okay? Whether it be your credit card, banking, anytime you order anything online, your information is out there. Aura grabs it, takes it off, deletes all of it, and keeps you safe online, okay? And they'll do that free for 14 days to show you if anything in your past has already been exposed, okay? This is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part, automatically removing your information off of sites and keeping it off. And again, they can do it absolutely for free to show you what they can do. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have some digital security tools, but not having Aura is like locking your front door, but keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts if any of your credit card or banking information is ever found, secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have US-based 24-hour, around-the-clock customer service, and they also offer a $5 million identity theft insurance package. In the event anything does go wrong, you're fully protected, okay? Now, for those of you who have never heard of Aura, they used to be the jersey logo for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Just want to show you how large they are. They used to work with the NBA. They work with content creators like myself. They are the leaders in this industry. If you're like me and worry about this stuff, I'm telling you right now, QR code is beside me. Just take out your phone, point it, go through the steps, sign up, and just try out their free trial. I promise you, I can guarantee you will not regret it. The link is below, QR code, okay? Sign up for Aura right now. Also, another sign up. Don't forget to sign up for the Out Louder membership. With the Out Louder membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member only live stream, member only videos, early access to new videos, and member shout outs. Okay. I do at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, vlog videos where I give you guys kind of like a behind the scenes of whatever I'm doing. If I'm doing interviews or just me, I'll sit down and just set up the camera and talk to you guys about something that's going on personally. So for you, for those of you who are really enjoying the show, you want to get some behind the scenes insight, sign up for our memberships, okay? You'll see different levels of membership. The first one, just the Out Louder membership, is all the access you need to get full access to everything. The other levels are just if you want to pay more, almost kind of like a tip, all right? But feel free to just sign up to the first Out Louder membership. Thank you for those who have already signed up. I appreciate y'all. Okay, now, comments of the day. I actually forgot to check them. So this has happened to me before. And to continue with this kind of like live feel that I'm trying to bring you guys, I'm going to go live right now and literally just pick the first one that I see here. It said, watching from PG County, MD. I always say, even if you don't want to join in on the conversation, at least let me know where you are watching from. So I love this, PG County, MD. Thank you for doing that, all right? Let me see if I can take one more. Somebody says, at Trent Out Loud, why the FU Lion? Trump rejected the pardon goofy. All right, you know what? Love to get this one too. Now, this comes from Buddy Leon. Sorry, I didn't read the names for the other one. So Buddy Leon. Somebody on Instagram also put this too underneath the comment and said, you said Trump agreed to a pardon. He better be out by Christmas. You know what I say to sorry, what's the name again? Buddy Leon, and to the person who comments on Instagram. He's made it like 3 times now. When you quote me, why don't you quote everything I said? And this is the problem I have with y'all. And by the way, I love people who comment like this. I don't only want good comments. Challenge me, argue about back with me. I love it. That's the whole point of this show, okay? Is to have both sides and us to have these kind of conversations. You can go back to the show where I said that Trump agrees to give Diddy a pardon and watch the full thing. And I said, he actually agreed months ago. This shouldn't come as a surprise. And I also said that Trump will agree to give anybody a pardon because Trump is always interested in what you can give him. So with me saying that Trump agrees to give Diddy a pardon doesn't mean he's going to get a pardon tomorrow. It means, and I explicitly said this, and I gave all of the information, and I said, he agrees, and I have heard and I've seen actual things. I won't tell you exactly what I saw or my source, but it's now on to Diddy of what Diddy will like to give Donald Trump and his administration for his pardon. Donald Trump doesn't use pardons like how normal presidents use pardons. Pardons, the pardon power of the presidency is for people who the president feels has been unjustly convicted or for whatever reason. And it's not normally supposed to be a quid pro quo, but Donald Trump isn't your typical president. And we do know that if you do something for him, he'll do something for you. And it's not so hard to believe that Donald Trump would be even more willing to agree to give Diddy a pardon, because Donald Trump does not like when the U.S. judicial system is used and weaponized against people. And during that same episode where I told you about Diddy, about Trump agreeing to give Diddy a pardon, I showed you 3 experts that agree with me the fact that the judge used loopholes and trickery to convince Sean Diddy Combs, meaning he used the criminal code and the justice system as loopholes against him, the same way that Donald Trump has said Biden did to him. So trust me when I tell you, you don't even need a source. Donald Trump foams at the mouth for anybody that will show him a case where the system is working not the way that he wants it. And I'm not going to go into the Mann Act and how the judge used acquitted conduct that the jury said, we do not, and I'm not going to get into a Diddy thing, but we do not believe the testimony enough beyond a reasonable doubt under SCX trafficking, force, fraud, and coercion. We do not want to use any of that. So, but we are only going to give him a guilty plea on the Mann Act, which has nothing to do with force, fraud, and coercion. And the judge said, "Now, I'm not going to listen to the jury. I'm going to use the force, fraud, and coercion, and I'm going to use that in my sentencing, and that's why you get 4 years and 2 months." Trump will foam at the mouth to show that he does not like that kind of stuff going on. And this was also a case by Marie and Comey, and Trump does not like Comey, and Trump does not like Comey's father. So there's a lot of reasons. You don't need me to tell you that Trump is more than happy to agree to give Diddy a pardon. But like I said in the beginning, you got to tell the whole story, homie. I said he agrees, and now it's up to Diddy of what he is willing to offer Donald Trump in return for his pardon. And I actually do have some insight into that, but I want to give you guys a Diddy break. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. I know Diddy's plan on what he is going to do with the pardon, but I'll tell y'all next week. All right, that was, thank you for that comment. Hey, that was good. Maybe I should take live comments more often. Okay, social discussion of the day. Again, ladies, this is the second time I'm going to ask for your help. Woman sparks viral debate. Who's right and who's wrong? Okay, I'm going to play a video for you. This woman is at a Planet Fitness, and you can see a bunch of bike, elliptical, whatever machines there are, and they're all empty, and she's using one, and a guy uses one right beside her, and she's calling him out, and she's literally like, yo, why did you just come to the one right beside me? He doesn't acknowledge her, and she's like, oh my gosh, now we're both uncomfortable. I know you can hear me. The debate is the guy wrong? Is she right? And should she just have moved to another exercise bike? Should she not have to move? Is she right to call him out? Where do we fall here? Listen to the video and we'll talk about it more. Take a look.
And this is why women say, we picked the bear. We picked the bear. And he knows I'm recording him too. Because there's so many empty ellipticals and you picked the one right next to me. What was the reason? What was the reason? I know you hear me. What was the reason? Now we both uncomfortable.
Yeah, so look, again, I never like to talk about things that I don't know about or things that I can't understand. And I am not a woman, so I can't understand how this feeling feels. I don't know. If I was on a bike and there's a bunch of bikes and a girl came beside me, I'd be like, all right, shoot, I guess I'm looking pretty good. Again, women have a completely different experience. And when that happens 10 times a day and you don't want to feel like that, I can totally understand how that could be something. But every time this conversation comes up about guys in the gym, there's always two sides. And some people say that women are looking for these things and looking for these kind of opportunities so that they could take out their phone and be like, look what's happening to me. So I want to try to find some way to end this. Like, what is the right thing to do? Like, should men just consciously be like, we know this is a thing. I am consciously not going to look at a girl in the gym, not speak to a girl, not go anywhere near or do whatever. And you got to be conscious as men to not make girls feel this way at all. I think that's probably the only answer. Right? Like, I don't want to be put on no one's video. I don't want to make anybody feel this way. I don't want any kind of problems. So I would walk up and be like, there's 35 other machines. I'm going to purposely go all the way or go in the front, and especially not even the back one. I don't want to make her think I'm looking at her. I'm going to go in the front one because we know this is a thing at gyms. But should we have to do that? We also posted this up on the Trend Out Loud show, and one person said, hey, I go to Planet Fitness all the time. That's my gym. And there's different TVs playing different things. And maybe this TV was playing something that he wanted to watch. Why should he go all the way on the other side? And what I say to that is, it's 2025. Anybody that goes to a gym knows that this is a thing. I would just skip what I'm watching for that day. Or I would say, hey, I would state the obvious. Hey, I understand there's 25 other exercise bikes here, but I really want to watch whatever is on the TV. Sorry if this makes you feel uncomfortable, but I'm going to stay right here. You know what I'm saying? And that I think is probably the best thing to do, because just because she's on one doesn't mean she owns the area around her. But if you literally say, hey, this is what I'm doing, whatever, and I'm here watching TV, it kind of disarms the situation. And then after that, and she wants to take out the camera and she's like, what are you doing here? And I could be like, I told you what I'm doing here. And I told you that this has nothing to do with you. And I told you that I'm watching this TV. By the way, shout out to my wife and my girl or whatever. Like, I'm not here for you. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to set it up. So I don't like men, especially, that are not at least aware of the world that women, the difficult world that women have to navigate. So I feel as a man, we should be aware of what females have to go through, and we should try to make that experience for females as easy as possible. And while doing that, if they trip on that, then at least you know that's their issue. But we should do our part as men to make this difficult world for females easier. That's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, y'all, this brings us to question of the day. All right, we've had some really good questions of the day. I think this is really dope. If your partner asked you to sign a prenup, would you? Okay. First person said, absolutely. I'm a firm believer in you leave with what you came with. Another person said yes. Another person said yes. Sure. Yes, because I need him to return the favor and sign one too. Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wouldn't be getting anything of mine, baby. Yes. Yep. Because he's not taking mine. Yes, we both can. Yes. I have assets too. Yes. Yes. Wow. I'm so surprised. Yes, we both can. Yep, he should as well. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Should be mandatory, like concealing? I don't know what that means. Yes, of course. Yes. Wow. Yep. Hand it over, please. Cheating clause included. That's funny. Gladly, unless there's infidelity, then it gets canceled and I want everything. I don't know if that's fair, but okay. What? Somebody cheats on you, then that's when you should get all their money? What are you talking about? In the 21st century, prenup agreements is a must. Wow, I'm really shocked. I believe a prenup should be a requirement to get married. Wow. Okay. I'm going to throw you guys for a little bit of a loop here. And again, I'm the single guy here, so don't take my word for anything. I get the prenup. I get it, especially for somebody like me. I didn't inherit anything. I, started out from being on welfare. I filed for bankruptcy. I've been at the lowest of lows, had $3 in my bank account, literally like homeless, like have nothing, and built a business and changed my life around. So what I have worked hard for 7 days a week, 18 hours a day, no sleep, sacrifice. So I definitely want mine. But I also say that I would like to, if possible, find or be in love with somebody or have a relationship with somebody who I would want to have some of that money. I don't know. I'm not saying 100% that I would get married without it. I'm just saying from a hopeless romantic standpoint, I hope that you would say yes now, but then you find somebody who you trust so much, who you're in love with so much, and everything is so beautiful. And by the time where you do get married and that union has grown into one, I like to call it that yin and yang. And it's so one that you're like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But anyways, I don't know if that's I get that that's hard. Yeah, anyways, let me not turn this into a thing. But let me know what you guys think about prenups and all of that in the comment section below. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for kicking with me. I thought we had a good show. Before I let you guys go, just wanna what do I do here? Oh yes, remind you guys to sign up for the Trend Out Loud membership. A lot of fun things going on there. Don't forget to sign up with Aura. Even if you've only bought one thing online, you could be at risk. Aura can show you for free. They'll show you for free for the next 14 days. So sign up today. QR code link below. Also, too, the link below was for the Trend Out Loud memberships, and also at the top, right? There's a join or membership button. Before I let you go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen on podcast platforms, we're available on every single platform possible. Just head on over to your desired site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And as you guys know, we are now 7 days a week, all right? So make sure you check us out. Now, for those of you who are like me and prefer to watch your shows, head on over to YouTube. I'm going to need you to do 5 things. Type in Trend Out Loud. The show will pop up. I need you to hit that subscribe button and the like button. Get the algorithming. 3, please try to comment. I do the show with you. You guys are my co-hosts. If you guys don't comment, good or bad, it doesn't matter. Good or bad. Comment below and join in on the conversation. Now, like I also said earlier, if you don't feel comfortable joining in on the conversations, I'm cool with that too. But this is a global podcast, and I love to see the different countries and cities that you guys are watching from. So please at least let me know that. 4, if you're enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because it helps them grow in the channel, and we are here to grow the channel. And 5th, I've said it already, please join the Out Louder membership. We have a lot of fun and member-only exclusive. So if you enjoy watching me, you're going to really enjoy the memberships, all right? And enjoy just the fun, the banter, and the community. And that's what this membership is all about. So make sure you'll sign up. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's always the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please try to follow us on the Trend Out Loud show. We post almost every hour, on the hour, all the updated shows and stories. And the thing why I really like for you guys to follow that page is on YouTube, there's a lot of things we can't play for copyright reasons. There's a lot of things that we can't say because we don't want to get flagged. Not say, but we can't play because we don't got to get flagged. If you follow that, you can see the videos in its entirety. And by the time you watch the show, you know what's going on. You're ready to hear my take on it. And then we hand the ball over to you, and you can put your comments below or call your friend or call your mama and argue with them. All right. So it keeps you fully locked in this show. So make sure you follow us on IG, The Trend Out Loud Show. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and I hope you have a great night or a great day. Deuces. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud.